show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast episode 638, where we're talking geeky things from the Pittsburgh area. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And with me first from Studio C in the great D of Dormont, Pennsylvania, it is John Chichilla. It's been a few weeks
and I'm
since
now
we've
from
had
Demont.
you on here. We got and I got more of your Ks. I don't have all 4Ks of your camera, but we did upgrade the Zoom computer, and you do look a little clearer.
A little clearer?
I think
so. My internet woes have.
Internet. I don't know. No, trust me. I think it was this Gen 1 i7 that we had you running off of over here. So we got a little something, at least a couple generations moved on. That'll get you in here. So also with us from Studio Duds, the Dudders is with us.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Getting ready.
My new friend.
Getting ready to go to Cheeseland with me tomorrow.
Cheeseovania.
Cheeseovania. That's Wisconsin's other name. I'm sure we'll have plenty. I don't know what we're gonna find awesome in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So I'm just looking to survive at this point because it's Baja and it's gonna be cold, and we'll see how this goes.
Have you ever done a cold Baja?
Yeah, I've definitely done a cold. I've done a cold formula. I'm familiar with this thing. It is not pleasant. So, welcome to it. Wait, is this going to be your first unpleasant Baja? Is that what's happening? Oh man.
Unpleasant Baja.
Yeah. Oh.
Name of the show. Done.
Yeah, there you go. And then we also have with us from the Sorgatron Media Network our friends from A Gay and His Enby. It is Eamon.
Hello.
And Merlin.
Hello. Hello, awesome people.
Hello.
Awesome casters.
You guys, the newest addition to the Sorgatron Media family here. You guys record right here in the studio. Real quick before we get into the details, what is the podcast about?
Yeah, so the podcast, A Gay and His Enby. Title speaks for itself. Me being gay, Merlin in the NB spectrum. But we love to talk about particularly reality television and anything in that sort of realm that deals with or that is popular among the gay and MB communities, you could say. We had just finished the most recent season of Drag Race, for example. We talk a lot about Real Housewives and anything in the Bravo universe in that regard. Survivor we're talking about now. Plenty of stuff. Plenty of fun things.
Also, any movie that we just find sufficiently gay or sufficiently gay adjacent. We talked about Megan when it first came out.
I remember that, yeah.
We did a review of the recent Power Rangers movie on Netflix. That was really great. We'll be doing a review of Barbie when that comes out. You can guarantee we will be watching that one in theaters. So look out for that when that comes out.
Can't wait to see Mermaid John Cena. And of course, you guys are on the technology and wrestling spectrum with us as well. So that's why you guys have been doing the tour of the shows lately. So.
Love it. Everything from the Sorgatron Media family of podcasts.
There you go. And you were also on Fishing Without Bait. You did do the complete tour of the shows. This completes it.
Full circle.
There you go. You get a one show free now. You filled your card. Well, guys, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com, and of course, we're on the Twitter at AwesomeCast, and we have a great Facebook group. A lot of stories are posted throughout the week from all of us here and you guys out there, and also you can follow AwesomeCast on a Discord that's linked over at awesomecast.com, and we do have a Reddit page as well. If if you want to start stirring it up over there. Please subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app. And, of course, video versions, we do broadcast here for the most part every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. And, of course, there is a master feed where you can get all of these shows that we just mentioned, including our friends here from A Gay and His MB. I feel like I'm not saying that right.
No,
that's correct.
NB. I'm throwing it together. Every
ENBY.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
NB. As in between.
See, I'm learning things. I said that part. But also, thanks to our friends at postindustrial.com. Forgive me, I'm coming off a stubbing bug, so my head's a little spinning right now. So thank you to our audio partners at postindustrial.com and our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford. At the coffee club level, Matt Weller and Cynthia Klosky. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave, Prof Pod, Podner, Clipper of all things Sorg related. Yes, he is. So you guys support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. We got so many awesome things of the week. Jeez. Let's start with, let's get gadgety first. And Katie has a little bit of show and tell here, I understand.
I'm so excited. I travel with Sorg, take photos of things. I've previously been shooting with a Nikon D3300, which is a digital SLR, but had it for a long time. Took very good care of it, so it still treats me well. But it was time for an upgrade. And today I went and got a new camera, and I'm so excited I can't even tell you. This is my new Nikon. It is I don't want to forget what it's called, Z6 II. It's a mirrorless camera. It's a touchscreen. It's phenomenal. I can't even tell you like how excited I am. My D3300 had only a handful of focal points. This has a bunch. And so like instantly focusing on anything that goes by. I played with this a little bit in the store before I took it home. Just so cool. Shoots in 4K, like,
oh, jeez.
yeah, like 30, it goes up to 30 frames per second, but like 4K ultra. I'm gonna be doing your B-roll in the almost complete darkness and have no problem grabbing stuff like this. That was the big thing for me, was like I'm running into situations where I'm in an awkward tent and it's bright outside and it's dark under the tent, or we're in a conference room, the god awful lighting, or we were in low light restaurants, shooting banquets, and I was running into that. That's where I was getting the most hold up as far as like my camera went. And then this is just like, essentially it could be candlelit in there and it's going to look like daylight. Like that is how good this camera is. I cannot wait. You all have to come play with it at some point. But I did buy the bundle. I did get I came with a lens, a 24 to 70 millimeter, which is pretty cool. Got the extra battery, got all this. Something that was, I went to Bernie's Photo, which is up on the north side of Pittsburgh, because I didn't want to go. You can go anywhere and buy a camera, like you go Best Buy or whatever, but I really needed to talk to somebody and feel confident talking to somebody and going, here's what I'm shooting, because I'm shooting some very odd things. Like it's not everyday things. I'm, Baja cars, go. But like I'm shooting these unusual things, and I needed somebody to talk to like, here's the issue I'm running into. How do we correct this? And I had previously been looking at a Sony A7 that was a mirrorless that I really liked. And I explained that when I went in there, and he was like, Bruce, my new best friend, was like, I got you. And he pulled out this Nikon, because I brought my camera and I brought my lenses, and he's like, you know what? He's like, you're going to love this. It's going to be such an upgrade for you. And then he introduced me to this FTZ2. And like all of my lenses, my Tamron lenses, will work with this camera.
Nice. So you can still use Gary.
Well, Gary, the only problem is like since it's mirrorless, it's a full frame as opposed to like this little bit more cropped frame. So Gary still works, but he's a manual as opposed to an autofocus, which no big deal, because the plan was to use my D3300 with Gary on a tripod anyways to keep things at a distance, things in the sky. And how many times I've talked to you where I was like, I need a second camera to grab things up close while Gary's doing his thing out there.
Gary is the name of the long lens, by the way.
I love that. We're not even explain who Gary was. It just.
I think everybody was picking that up. It was just
Gary.
I was following along.
Good. So like Bruce was like even referring
There's
to
Gary
Gary
in
as
action
Gary.
right there.
There's Gary. But he would explain that, you know, Gary's still going to work, but it's going to be a manual, but your other lenses are going to function like your regular lenses. So I didn't have to, like, I full expected to be shelling out $5,000+ for everything I was going to need to make the transition to mirrorless. And because I was able to use this little doodad and keep using the same lenses I had before, like, I think it was like $3,000 total after taxes, extra battery, a much better memory card because this thing is so much faster and the megapixels are so much higher. That like in the screen the lens protector. I'm incredibly excited to try this out, and I definitely feel good about my purchase. And like I said, incredibly grateful for Bruce over there. Like, I think this camera's name is going to be Bruce. That's how much I appreciated his help.
The homage naming. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. So what was that model again for
Fun.
people tuning in?
It's a Z6 II, and the little guy is the FTZ2, and it's, you know, a little like $100, a little over $100, I think it was. And
Nice.
like I said, I'm able to use my lenses, and we're gonna have so much fun with this camera while we're out there because I'm just gonna be shooting everything.
Fantastic. Well, so we're going to have a hands-on review in about a week in the field after 4 days on Baja, 2 static and 2 dynamic. So that'll be a lot of fun. So unfortunately, I think it's going to be muddy. So
Well, this one's actually better for not that it's weatherproof. Like, I don't want to be like it's weatherproof, but it's much more protected against the elements, because as the newer cameras, that was one of the things that people were asking about, is like, you know, these older DSLRs are like you have to protect them when they're out in the elements, and this one, it's like, not that I'm not going to take care of it, but like that's nicer to me. Like, there's less likely like to get things in here, because you know how like paranoid I am with changing out my lenses. When we're out in the field. And
I think there's been a few no, don't hold it that way when she hands me things out there. So
there's just dust everywhere. No,
there's dust everywhere. It's almost impossible not to get. That's why I have just like that workhorse. I got a Panasonic, I think it's a DVX 200, and it's just like a full body camera, not like with the lenses and everything, because like I want less crevices for stuff to get in there, and I want something that's going to be able to kind of take a beating out there. So that's great. All right, let's keep it on the gadget line. Chilla, you're looking at yet another gaming handheld. I know you're usually keeping an eye on these.
This one was pretty cool, and what caught my eye, Asus is releasing their Steam Deck competitor. I think it's going to be announced here in the next couple weeks. And who doesn't like, you know, RGB LEDs on their gaming handheld? Which that caught my eye too. Under the thumbsticks, I think it looks like there's going to be RGBs, but their device comes in $50 more than the Valve Steam Deck. So it's going to sell for about $700 for the baseline. The interesting thing to me was that not only is it going to run Windows, but their version, the ROG, I'm guessing it's the Ally, ALLY, is targeting a higher 1080p resolution and 120 hertz refresh rate. The other thing that was super interesting to me was they run Windows. I think right before the show we were talking about other devices, and it's not too difficult to install Windows on the Steam Deck. In fact, you can install it, I think, on an SD card if you want to. What it does offer is, if you're running Windows and you have enough power, you can then run some of the emulators that are only available for Windows devices, like the Xbox, the original OG Xbox emulators, which to me are kind of fun because there's a lot of good single player games out there. And in most of my devices, I'm interested in, hey, how far can I go without internet? Because if you're on a plane or somewhere with very bad bandwidth, you're not going to be able to do all the fun streaming games off of Xbox. I think it's good to have those. I also think it's important to be able to not just play modern games, but do a good job with any emulation. So I'm personally excited about this device. I'm interested in its weight. I feel like the Steam Deck is a little bulky in the hands. and I feel like there's a lot of space that could have been granted to the screen. But I will say overall, I do like the Stream Deck. I've actually been replaying. They had a really good deal on Spider-Man and Miles Morales, and the game totally holds up on that device. So
Might have to try that out.
and I'm super impressed that more and more I see games that weren't necessarily labeled as, you know, great for Steam Deck. People are coming out with the mappings for the controllers, and it's just the games run extremely well. So
Nice.
keep an eye on this one, though. I'm interested to see how far they can go with it. I'm also interested to see what the battery life's like on this, because I actually, for a long plane ride, I had to take an external battery for the Steam Deck.
Nice. So again, that's the Asus ROG Ally. And it's not officially announced. A lot of this was from leakers, but there's an event apparently coming up on May 11th to keep an eye out for from Asus. And Asus does a lot of good devices.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of their ROG devices. That's Republic of Gamers. So they're devices that are specifically aimed at the gamer
That's
population.
their gaming brand. Okay.
Yep.
All right. We got some TV news. Eamon, Merlin, which one of you guys want to go first?
You gonna take this?
I guess I'll go first since it's
Sure.
kind of related to, classic gaming a little bit. A quote unquote classic. It's from the 90s.
It's a classic.
It is. It's from my childhood,
Yeah.
So the teaser trailer dropped a couple days ago for the new Twisted Metal series from Peacock, which is really exciting. We've got Anthony Mackie there playing John Doe, who drives Roadkill. But the kind of thing that ties back into wrestling, which I thought was really cool, is that Samoa Joe will be playing Needles, who drives Sweet Tooth. At least the body. He is going to be voiced by Will Arnett.
Oh, okay.
But who you will see on screen is Samoa Joe. So that's pretty
But
cool.
voiced by Will Arnett.
Yeah.
That's a combo.
Okay.
It's a clown.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it makes. I don't know
You can
that
play with
Samoa
that.
Joe could do the high pitched crazy that you need for a clown.
I don't know. He's very versatile. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. So no, I was looking forward to that. So that's gonna be on Peacock, and it's Twisted Metal,
Coming out in July, I think.
and it looks less weird. I don't know why it came up my YouTube today. I rewatched the trailer for the Gran Turismo movie, which is basically Last Starfighter but with racing. Yeah, no, it's literally like you're playing Gran Turismo on PlayStation, and we're gonna find our next great racer, and the guy from Stranger Things is gonna coach them. Are you still with me here? Are you still with me?
Twisted Metal was on PlayStation, wasn't
Yep.
it?
Yes,
Back in the 90s.
yes.
It
Wasn't
was
it just
OG.
like a demolition? Was there a storyline to it?
There
It
was actually, but it was.
Okay.
It's kind of like with any of your arcade fighter games. There's a story, but it's small.
By the way, I'm also loving that every recommended video after this trailer is Shark Tank.
Oh, perfect.
on this thing. I mean, this just seems so appropriate here. So yeah. And Chilla, as avid listeners to our other show knows, there was also a Twisted Metal. Well, actually, there were a lot of Twisted Metal kind of takeoffs in that era, weren't there? But more especially, the one we're interested in is WWE Crush Hour, which was pro wrestlers in the cars.
When are they going to make that remake?
Yeah, where's that? Come on, 2K, where are you at?
It's right there.
It's right there. It was the Twisted Metal craze. Hopefully, this sparks somebody in a boardroom somewhere. So. Eamon, you have the other TV news.
Yeah, and it's also Peacock related, conveniently as well. I was really excited to see news today that during the IAB New Fronts, NBC Universal was putting out some of the advertising stuff that they're going to be doing, particularly around Peacock Premium. I also find this very convenient that this was my choice based off of the Wrestling Mayhem show this past week.
Yes.
And how I railed against advertising, particularly on WrestleMania. But no, I think this was a really exciting thing, so that there's going to be, they've launched what they are calling Must Shop TV, which is AI generated shoppable ads that they get in the programming that you'll have on Peacock. And this is a really exciting move. They tested it out at the New Fronts using footage from Top Chef, which obviously is also part of NBC Universal, and the fact that by watching it was able to recognize the knife, the cutting boards, the pans, and giving them direct access to purchase them through there, and the fact that it also links through your Peacock, whatever card or whatever you're doing through Peacock.
That's the secret. They have your payment information already.
So it's conveniently right there for you to purchase it. We were talking before this about how Amazon has done similar things as well. And I think it's a really great way to weave it in a way that I think is easy, accessible, isn't as overbearing as like what I mentioned before with WrestleMania. And we were talking to, we talk about on Gannon's MB, obviously we talk a lot about Housewives, and that I love that Peacock is utilizing this because I think a lot of their content and a lot of the stuff that's based or that's going to be on that service lends a lot to people wanting to purchase things. Like we've talked, like how many times have we watched a Real Housewives or a Bravo show and been like, I love that dress, or I love that that piece of artwork in their home or something like that. And having the ability to sort of have quick access to that. I know not just us, but a lot of people in those communities would really appreciate having that easy access. And
let's not forget that WWE is also on Peacock. This could link right back into WWE Shop.
Absolutely. I have a lot of T-shirts that the wrestlers sell, and you're like, I want to get that T-shirt, kind of thing. Like it makes a lot of sense. And it was interesting because we were talking, and I've talked about here before, like my experience with, Alex Lindsay talking about this technology in like 2006 and the push button ad stuff on Prime Star in the late 90s. It really is that kind of the right audience, the right tech, the right, that kind of goes around, like that reality audience. It makes sense. The wrestling audience, it makes a lot of sense. Did I see the one thing on here? Looks like it was like there's an ad for Expedia during a soccer match. Yeah. And does that mean it's clickable? Is that what they're talking about here?
I believe so. Yeah. So it'll be interesting the lengths it'll go and how much I think the AI will be pushed by this, and seeing. Obviously seeing what will be successful and what won't be in terms of that element. But no, I think there's a lot of versatility that can come with it, and ways in which to integrate it in different ways as well.
And we already have this where there's branding placement, from the, cereal on Seinfeld's shelf to everything else. I thought it was funny because we were talking about, I think a few weeks ago about Amazon Prime. I pulled up one of their shows because I figured, because I know I've seen this before, and you can't see the video since I'm linked through the system, so it's like blocking the video through copyrights and everything. But you can see the X-ray that happens. Hold on, let me pull it up over here. You see the X-ray that's going to happen here when you pause on Amazon Prime video, and you see there's like this is a new sexy spy thing they got going on called Citadel, right? New series that they have, and you got your link there, you got your actors that are in the scene like we're used to, bonus content, shop the store, which will go to like a whole other thing, but there's also shop the look. If you've seen the ads for Citadel, and you can see them a little bit there probably in the corner if you're with us on video, you see the dress she's wearing, and there it is, and I can go shop that dress that she's been wearing in this thing. It's not a $2,000 dress, guys.
Obviously, certain markets it'll be.
Man, that's but I can also.
I would say if you're at the very, because in Peacock's case, you'll have to have Peacock Premium for this. So at the very least, if you can afford Peacock Premium,
that's right. And also, I thought that was funny. You have to pay for the higher end Peacock in order to spend money with Peacock.
Right.
Okay, I guess so. So. It is interesting that they're gatewaying that kind of thing. I want to pay. Do you think people would pay to purchase? Like, do you think that would be a killer feature to add the extra? Because I think it's like $5 to $10, right? Between the two things.
That would be. I would love to see that tested in terms of like if people would bite on that, because I think obviously also right now with streaming, like there's a lot of like. worrying me in terms of like, especially with the conglomerates that are sort of forming right now and like the pricing changes. So that could be interesting to see.
And NBC does have their own shopping network too, don't they?
I believe
Last
so.
I knew.
I think so, yeah.
like they probably have like a lot of that tied in infrastructure for something like that. So I'm sure they'll get partners and things like that.
Plus,
yeah.
it's not like that's the only thing you get with like Peacock Premium.
Oh,
You
no.
also get less actual ads that you have to deal with. So, like having your ads just in the show you're watching is easier, I guess.
Katie, as somebody who lived through advertising mania gate, how are you feeling about this? Are you going to shop the look?
I do love this because like there are times where I'm like, that's really cool. I like this and this when I'm watching something, or even like I don't know, like could you imagine if we had that capability? Be like, okay, hi, this is my new camera, and you're like in the pop up in the corner. And
Yeah.
you're like, how cool would that be to like? So even if like that kind of stuff, like I mean, there's definitely a huge market for.
And that does already exist a little bit. And like we could, if we had the infrastructure here, I could sit down with these YouTube videos and put a link that pops up on the YouTube video while you're shutting off the camera with an Amazon link. Like that is absolutely something that we could do.
It's just not AI generated.
Actually, I think that's something we used to be able to do. And I don't know if we can. I think they might have deprecated that.
Yeah, I thought they got rid of some of those
the
pieces.
pop-ups went away, didn't they? Huh.
Because they even got rid of some of the stuff at the end where you could do a bunch of menuing on the end, couldn't you?
Oh,
I
it's
don't
still
think you do that
there.
anymore.
It's still there, but maybe it's not like it used to be. But there's still like a featured video, next video kind of option that pops up there. So I don't know. So we'll
But
see.
yeah, I love what AI is doing. I'm not gonna lie, I love what AI is capable of and how people are utilizing it, especially like this. I think this is super cool.
But to me, where it's way more beneficial is Dutters is talking about the camera. She gave the make and model, right? I can go Google that and I can figure that out.
Yeah.
If I want the Grogu that's sitting next to her,
Mhm.
that's to me where the power comes in. It's the nuanced things in the background that maybe not everyone picks up on, but it's like, oh, how do I find that thing?
Which is funny because your fuzzy background tonight, but you have a collection of game controllers over your shoulder there. We could be doing the same thing with.
Exactly.
So, there it is. There you go.
And I now have Iron Man hangs from the wall.
I was
Hey, look at that guy. he's looking at
Where
you.
can
He
I
just
get the
turned
Mjolnir lamp? That's cool.
It's actually a Sensi, so it's a wax melt.
What?
Ooh,
That's kind of cool.
that's awesome. And
Add to
I
cart.
forgot to turn it off today.
is that
Very
iMac?
hot.
iMac still on an arm?
Yeah, it is. I never pulled out because it doesn't work. Like it.
Oh yeah, don't.
The Mac,
I don't want you to mess it
the
up.
Mac works, but it's like there's not a lot of room.
All right. Well, my thing is, like I said, I was a little bit under the weather over the weekend. Had a little bit of a stomach bug that's been attacking our house lately. So I took the time, and I was like, I like to put on something comfortable, right? something I've watched 100 times, and there's a lot of times, it's usually a Marvel movie or the Ninja Turtles movie from the 90s, or the original Transformers 1986 movie. But this time I was clicking through, and I've seen these pop up a couple of times. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Hasbro Pulse, Hasbro's general YouTube channel, I suppose. And I was sad that they only did it with this because I kind of want to watch G.I. Joe because I never watched like the full run of G.I. Joes. But they have the entire 4 seasons of the original Transformers 80s cartoon all there for you to watch. I blew through an entire season, and I just got finished watching Dinobot Island, and I think one of these was on when you guys walked in when I was dozed off on the couch, right?
Yep.
So all the way through, and they even have I don't think I've ever seen season 4, the Rebirth, so because I don't think that made a lot of rounds back in the day after the Return to Optimus Prime. But that's all there on the Hasbro Pulse. It's 98. Is that right? 98 episodes. I will caution you, though, because this was driving me nuts. And I thought it was just my sick head just getting really confused. But these are not in the order of continuity. And I looked. These were not. These are in order of release, not continuity. So when Skyfire shows up to save the day, and then they find him frozen in the ice like 3 episodes later because they just discovered him after 1,000,000 years, just kind of roll with it. Okay, you were probably confused back in the day too. So
why would they release it out of order?
This is a common practice, especially in syndication. Apparently, I think there was a lot of issues like this with programs where they would release out of order, or even if it was something on primetime or Saturday morning, they would just. Basically, I think when they distributed it, nobody gave a crap because it was a toy cartoon. So so it just led to that. You got to think this is something that got distributed to like how many television stations to be able to see, because this was a weekday afternoon, at least for me, weekday afternoon cartoon, daily, 5 days a week, syndication kind of situation. So those get a little funky. And if you look at the Wikipedia page, I'm like, that's where you look at episode order, release date, actual order. And that's where it's like, oh wait, this is episode da 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 da. So no, it's pretty good. It's as good as an 80s cartoon can get.
So stellar.
Wonderful getting right off the bus in time to watch Optimus Prime. Some good Peter Cullen and Frank Welker for your ears, and oh my god, Dinobots everywhere.
Yay!
Yes, Dinobot. I SOS Dinobots and Dinobot Island Part 1 and 2 are definitely the highlights so far. So and also I think Cybertron just became orbited in Earth for basically the duration after like 6 episodes. I don't know if I don't know if I'm right about this. I was trying to Google how far away is Cybertron from Earth. But they just got like they're using a space bridge, and then they're just like showing up, and it was like, okay, I guess it got a lot easier. So, just some of the science just does not work. There's they put a floppy disk out of a supercomputer, and my wife laughed. Just like, I'm like, yep. So,
look, we flew to the moon on that level of computing, like less than that level of computing. So I mean,
and also like why does Spike and oh my god, what's his name? Sparkplug. Take off the damn hard hat and yellow boots after the first episode when they're not working on that damn tanker anymore.
Because how else are you going to recognize him?
There's exactly. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of representation of workers in this, because they're always invading power plants because they're always looking for energy, I guess. They introduce a super smart kid in a wheelchair named Chip after like 4 episodes, and I don't remember this kid at all. And but he's there, and he's always there. And it's like, and why are you taking these kids with you when you're fighting Megatron, you assholes? But you learn a lot about that, and I don't know why did you just let Megatron just fly away? I don't get it. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to revisit that stuff. So we'll see if I roll with this and roll back into Beast Wars. I'm afraid to watch Beast Wars again. But Kate, did you see the new trailer for the Rise of the Beast?
Didn't you send it to me?
I think I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Freaking Unicron.
No way.
Freaking Unicron. Anyways, I'm glad it's this Unicron and not whatever abomination the Michael Bay one was going to be. Guys, go check out our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills. Yins are made New York City style. I said that backwards, but that's okay. They're still delicious. SliceOnBroadway.com. Go support our friends over there. Eamon, I will not bury you in ads this week.
No, that's fine.
We did a bit where I threw up every ad in front of his face. I always watch it while I was talking about WrestleMania last week. Go check out the Mayhem Show Twitter for that clip. And I hope we tagged Slice in that one too. But anyways, so let's get into the rest of the stories here. What is going on? What do you guys want to hit up here?
Ooh, let's talk about this life-size Gundam challenges visitors to a rock, paper, scissors tournament.
That's a great way to start.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, we've seen this life-size Gundam in the news before, right? And apparently, this is at the Gundam factory in Yokohama, Japan. Also, there's a factory. Okay. They're inviting visitors to participate in rock, paper, scissors, according to Kotaku. They're invited the visitors to participate in rock, paper, scissors tournament with the robot on May 5th. Guys, we need to get out there. They delayed it because of COVID-19 restrictions. So this could have happened already. But yeah, they're displaying the new massive moving Gundam style that can play for. This thing, hold on, let me see how big this thing is. Sorry, I am not well versed with Gundam to know how big these things actually are. I'm more of a Transformers mark over here. It doesn't say how tall he is, does it? Probably in that Japanese part I'm looking at.
Isn't it like 4 stories tall?
Something like that. Here, let me take a look at the pictures. Well, here's some people by its head. Let's see what that looks like.
For scale.
For scale. Yeah, here's some people for scale. There
I've
you go.
seen these pictures.
Oh yeah. And there he is up there, and yeah, he's gonna move, and he's gonna. There's a person to scale up there. Yeah, this is pretty big. This is the size I would think a Transformer would be.
That would be the most intimidating rock, paper, scissors.
But it has to be
possible.
able to turn into a Mack truck if it's that big.
You would hope, right? No, the Gundams didn't transform, did they? They were just
No. I'm saying if Transformers were that big, how are you going to get it down to the size of a Mack truck?
Oh, there's some. By the way, there's also some sizing issues. You're like, why? How did this Transformer fit inside this other Transformer to carry them away? I don't understand this at all. It's pretty bad. Yeah, no, I could see that turning into one of those trucks actually. When you look at it, if you think about the sizing a little bit and folding techniques. Listen.
Yeah, that's like 6 stories tall.
Yeah, it's like 6 stories tall. Probably like a bigger one, right? Listen, if this
But
guy, I don't know, they're so complicated and they fold under. I got an Optimus Prime here that I still haven't figured out, and he can dance, but he can't turn into a truck yet. Because I haven't sorted that out yet.
Wait, hold that up next to your head, because that's about the same size in relativity as those people were to the head of that Gundam.
So I'm the Gundam, and this is the person on the thing. Actually, no, you're completely correct.
That's the ultimate reverse Uno card.
And
guess who's the big dog now?
I don't understand how rock, paper, scissors tournaments work when they're battle royale roles. So it's going to play.
Listen, I said battle royale. I think means something else in
visitors.
Japan, right? So
They're going to play with a crowd of visitors challenging the robot all at once.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very Squid Game at that point.
Yes.
Just start knocking them out.
Sorry, I was thinking battle royale was was the Hunger Games inspiration. So that's what was coming off my head.
But
So I think
3
it's,
people in the crowd pick rock, paper, and scissors. One of them is going to beat the Gundam, and then how does it keep going?
Think it's an elimination. So the Gundam
Gundam
picks
always
rock.
wins.
Everybody that picks what beats scissors,
Paper.
right? No, what?
No, paper.
Paper covers rock.
Who is so the Gundam gets rock, right? Who does he beat?
He would then beat
Scissors.
scissors.
So everybody
beat
that was
scissors.
scissors gets eliminated.
But what about What about the people that
I
held
think-
up paper?
I think this is a one versus many kind of situation.
I guess everyone.
But the Gundam's invincible.
Yes.
There's that.
Because
the
he's a
last round.
freaking gun. Listen, this is you. This is Gundam playing rock, paper, scissors.
Look,
and this one can only do rock for some reason. Okay, because he needs to hold things. But I'm saying
Also, rock, paper, scissors is pretty quick. It's a very quick motion. It's for
I don't think the Gundam's gonna be quick.
That's what I'm saying.
I think you're gonna have time to think about your answer a little bit.
Then it really quickly switches over.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he gets frustrated and just plays rocket launcher. Oh, fantastic. So that is a real thing, and of course Japan. Now they just need a big life-size Ultraman to play rock, paper, scissors with the life-size Gundam. Right?
Sort of like, yes, please.
Who's with me? Come on, Japan. Get on it. Hey, here's another gaming one for I know we got a couple Nintendo Switchers here on the Zooms. This came up on my TikToks, and this was kind of for streamers and for tournament operators for the most part. But it's a Nintendo Switch dock that adds a bunch of ports for you. It's about $130, I think they're pre-ordering it for right now. It has GameCube ports. It has 3 HDMI outs, a USB. Again, it's for like that kind of multi-out for streaming and stuff like that. Like you'd have to buy a bunch of these parts separate in order to do a lot of this kind of stuff. Ethernet port built in. I thought I needed to throw that at least your way, Chilla. Because I'm sure you would have some kind of use for this. And they're actually doing kind of a fun thing where if you pre-order it or do for tournament people, if you hit them with an email, they'll give you some bulk pricing on it. And they're doing these kind of glow up nameplate things on there, and I love the snap in there. It looks like a Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
that looks cool.
Super Nintendo button.
That's perfect.
That snaps it in there. Again, this is going to be a third party kind of thing, so it's kind of you're kind of taking a little bit of because it's not going to be officially licensed or anything like that. But again, I think these sound like these are people that are doing these on a pretty regular basis. So I don't know, Chilla, what do you think about that? That's a lot of ports there.
That's a lot of ports, but it's interesting. I wish they would have somehow made the other side of the dock like where it could be extended, or it could like something. And here's why: the Switch is just USB-C, right? So they're making the magic happen off of like a USB-C dock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why couldn't they have made the other side of the dock either flat so you could put a bigger device on it? Because they did a really nice job, right, of making it look form-fitting and everything. The moment Nintendo adds, a quarter inch to the height of the device, you're kind of stuck.
Okay, I see.
But my other theory would be, you could have used this for the Switch, you could have used this for Steam Deck, you could have used this for pretty much anything that's USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they think that through. It's super cool, and I'm interested like how the 3 HDMI ports work, because to your point earlier, if it's most of the stuff that I've seen on Switch, I haven't had a problem streaming. But if it does have the HDCP, the copy protection, like I wonder how those 3 ports work. Like I'm guessing it's just all the same feed, right?
It's the same feed. So in the example they're showing in the video, and unfortunately my setup right now is not going to do. Oh, by the way, there's a Super Nintendo for scale on the background. So for some reason, and this is again this is the Gaming Edge Striker dock at gamingedge.gg. I wonder what country that is. But it's this is specifically to solve a problem. Again, it's got GameCube ports in it. So specifically to solve that problem with Nintendo Switches, as they are now, and for tournament people looking to do Smash Brothers and other things, Mario Kart tournaments and things like that. Like this is a very specific thing. It's not meant to. They don't want to support probably anything else like that. So I can see that being it. And it feels like they kind of brought together, because it sounds like most of these things exist as separate items, and they just brought them into one dock. So I don't know. That was a pretty cool little thing there. So, and again, very specified. Maybe not for you to have in your home unless you're doing. And I don't know if you want to even stream Nintendo games right now with how things are going with copyrights. So with Nintendo, because Nintendo, every time I hear a story about Nintendo and how they're taking down like copyrights of things on Twitch, like I pull back from wanting to get a Nintendo Switch. I'm always like, maybe it's the time to get one. I hear something like that. I'm like, come on, Nintendo, come on. So that's been that. Gamer Edge Striker Doc, if you want to investigate that, gameredge.gg. Maybe some of you streamers out there might have some good use for that. So, Merlin, you got a new game you're playing.
Well, I haven't got it yet. I have got it.
You've got a game on the way.
Yes.
Now, because it just came out for the platform that you were anticipating.
Yeah, so Hogwarts Legacy is finally coming to the last gen consoles. We had a PS5, but I also had a gift card to the Xbox store, and I was like, that's $50 I don't have to spend.
There you go.
So I waited longer than anticipated, to be honest. But we're finally getting it this Friday on the 5th, so I will be holed up all weekend, finally getting to explore Hogwarts after being obsessed with this IP since '98 when it came out. So yeah.
Is this a multi on? Is it just an
no,
RPG?
it's just an RPG.
Okay.
A lot of people have wanted an MMO from Harry Potter, but I don't know if we're quite there yet. This game was a good foray into the RPG, and I think if this one does well, then maybe one of the sequels will, because they're working on a sequel, I think, right now. Because of the game, it looks gorgeous, and they've worked a lot of the obviously bugs out from the beginning, but this looks great. The story looks compelling. Gameplay looks really great. So I'm really excited about it, but I know that a lot of people want an MMO. So if they're smart, they'll lean into that direction now that they know kind of how the RPG side of that works. They can kind of now expand that platform.
And this is a series that's not been without video games, probably in varying successes. And I know we had the Niantic-backed Pokemon Go style Harry Potter game which didn't last.
No.
But it was really confusing when I dropped into it. It was complicated.
It was
I
complicated.
liked it. I had fun with it.
But Chilla loved it. Chilla loves complicated.
They also had there was another prequel game from Portkey that was on mobile devices. I can't remember what it's called. It's but it takes place in the 80s, like a generation before Harry Potter. So that one was really good and had an RPG style. But it was purely mobile platforms. It was
Hogwarts Mystery,
yes.
Magic. Oh, it was the
Hogwarts
first one
Mystery,
I got.
yeah.
I had two other games to say. So there you go. Yeah, I know they've been all over portable for a while.
And Portkey is involved in this as well, along with Avalanche. So it's and now neither one of these technically are canon, but they have been very, very careful to make sure that they fit completely within canon of the universe, so that if you want to consider it canon, you kind of can.
You can still slide in between there. That's why the good game is.
Canon adjacent.
I feel like I'm in the world. I'm not changing the world, but the world's still running along maybe right beside you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the ones that kind of work that.
It's a pocket dimension.
A pocket dimension. I like that term. Yes. So
I've been watching a lot of Doctor Who lately, so very.
I showed Missy the David Tennant coming back, and I was like, well, we have about a doctor and a half to catch up on, so we can get to this.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing because the whole Jinx Monsoon coming into the next season. Jinx Monsoon is the winner of season 5 of Drag Race.
Okay.
She is also the winner of All Stars 7, which was all winners.
Is she the new doctor?
She's not the new doctor, but she is going to be, quote unquote, the most powerful villain he has ever come up against.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So, and they've released all the press photos for her, and she's in this musically themed gown that's just, it's stunning. I'm really excited.
Fantastic. There was the old showrunner came back, didn't they? Was it Moffat? Was that
Stephen Moffat.
Okay. So they're okay. I'm in. I still enjoy. I think we're partway, maybe a season or two into Capaldi. Last night we checked. And I was okay with the vibe, but I miss the whimsy of those early days.
I'm not a huge fan of Capaldi, but I just got into the Jodie Whittaker, and oh man, she's good.
Yeah,
she's so good. She's got vibes of Tenet with a little bit of Matt in there. You know, it's good. It's good.
Love it. All right, I might have to be stepping back into that. I'll definitely step into that before I get back into Supernatural. I'm on like season 9.
Oh man, that's where I was.
And that was 10 years
year.
ago. That was 10 years ago. I think I got to season 9, and we like slammed through it, and I was like, I got to stop. We probably were up to whatever season 9 was. What else we got here? What's going on here? Chilla, what's this other retro gaming thing?
So I was on a late night phone call, and we were talking about cats and video games. And
Wait, what?
I need you to connect those things a little bit more. There's some through threads.
We all just learned a lot about Chilla right now.
it was for work, so I can't necessarily.
It was for work.
I can't necessarily talk about like what
they're doing research on cats and video games.
Big Bank International, you're on a late. Hold on. At Big Bank International, you're on a late night call about cats and video games.
No. We were on a late night call, and we were waiting for something, and like it was like I'm one of those people where I'm just gonna talk because I'm interested in what other people are interested in, and I'm like I try to learn about people that I don't necessarily always interact with.
Okay, you got me now.
And we were, someone started talking about their cat, and then we were talking about, our pets, and then I knew the one guy, like, rebuilt old video game cabinets and pinball machines and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, hey, what have you been up to? And I said, I just got a Steam Deck, and I started modding it, and he goes, well, have you seen Arcade Punks? And Arcade Punks is this website, and Big Bank International and Sorgatron Media does not condone copyright infringements, but this website has like all these downloadable pre-built ROMs for Raspberry Pis, and they sell video game cabinetry either pre-built or in pieces that you can then build yourself.
Ooh.
Oh.
And then they make these collections that you can, like I said, download, but they'll be like Coin Ops Forgotten Universe, and it's all Sega Game Gear, or it's all Nintendo GameCube, or it's all N64. And then they do like the Best of Forgotten. It's just a super cool website to get you thinking about what you may want to play retro-wise, but then they have like all these pieces of hardware that you can also buy from them to do like the vertical, like the old school vertical games.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell like whole kits. And like I said, you can buy them kind of pre-built, but you can also, if you wanted to totally customize it, build it yourself. They also sell, like, have you ever seen the Arcade 1-Up countercades?
Yeah.
They sell like mod kits for that,
Ooh,
or they'll show you how to mod it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was just super cool website. Check it out if you get a chance. It's Arcade Punks, just like it would, what you would think, .com. They have a Twitter. I'm super interested in like, I could go either get like the countertop arcade, which isn't overly expensive for what you're getting, or you could build your own full upright arcade. So check it out. I found it super interesting, and they have all kinds of various mods and whatnot.
Hold on, I'm signing up.
So it's like done and done.
Hold on, sign up. I gotta make a password. What? Yeah. No, the Raspberry downloads, the Raspberry Pi downloads are
Well,
very
and that's
interesting.
what we were talking about too. Was like it's hard to find a Raspberry Pi, or they're super expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
And what got us going was I was trying to get the ROM to load. I have NFL Blitz for the Super Nintendo.
No, that's not right. Has to be
N64.
Has to be N64.
Probably N64, yeah.
So I have Blitz, but I wanted the actual arcade version,
Yes.
like for MAME,
Yes.
and I couldn't like the MAME stuff. Like it's almost like every game has its like little nuance to get it to work. And he was actually helping me with that on the phone while we were waiting for some stuff to happen. So
speaking of NFL Blitz, Katie, do you remember our interaction with NFL Blitz a few weeks ago?
Yeah, the arcade.
It was like the loudest machine out of
Yeah.
everybody there. Like,
In their minds.
yeah, I swear those guys had never seen NFL Blitz before.
Was this at
Was this at
Cidercade?
It was a Cidercade, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
So they've been down in some cider, playing some weird. This is when we
I
were.
love Cidercade.
This is when we were feverishly trying to roll through the Ninja Turtles machine. So when we're just like, why are they so loud over there in the next aisle? And we're like, it's like freaking. What was it like? Was it the original NFL Blitz or something? I'm like, maybe it was a
I think it
later
was.
one. It was, yeah, it was nuts. God, I love that place. By the way, I got an email this week from Cidercade that I won a free pass.
Oh, nice.
Like I earned a free pass, and I'm like, well, not going to Texas anytime soon. So, you know,
No, it's great. I miss we went there once and had because they all have all their handmade ciders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That they have. And they had one the ectoplasm, which is just this like bright green like
Ooh.
almost like toxic like colored like, and it was the amazing place. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
It might as well have been TMNT Secret of the Ooze branded. It's that color. It's great.
Yes,
That's
yes,
awesome.
that place was great. One last, I got a little quick tip here that I learned about today. Apparently, if you are if you have the new Mac OS, I just finally updated like not too long ago, and you want to remove a background on a picture, you don't even have to open it. If you right click and there's these quick actions, I didn't know they put in here. You can create a PDF, convert image, remove background. You can do. And I did a couple really quick ones. Let's see. Here's me and Missy at wrestling. I need to do this the other way. Here's me and Missy at wrestling. It's mostly good. There's a guy kind of invading me behind me. I mean, these are very busy backgrounds. Here's me out of Five Guys. So that worked out
That
well.
one's perfect.
That one, yeah, it's perfect. There's
Well,
like-
you got
like-
the stuff in your glasses.
no,
but
I swear I was completely on my diet this day. Don't worry about it. Here's a wrestling one, well, it mostly worked except he's got an arm in a.
that's why he's so good at wrestling. He's got his own. He's got his own extra arm there with the sign.
Yeah,
you know.
he can pat himself on his back. So that was a nice thing. I mean, this is pretty much akin to like you can hold down on an image in iOS and save it. Really handy because a lot of times for wrestler graphics, I need this so bad to make graphics. If you work in the wrestling business, you know what I mean. So definitely check that out. If you do have the newest, what is it? Ventura, I think is the latest Mac OS. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, fine. Stop bugging me. I'll upgrade, And I haven't even upgraded both computers because I'm not crazy about this whole situation here where, I can't pull up two windows at the same time. What are we doing with this? So I haven't entirely figured that out. And I got magnet to snap things, and it's still like, I want you side by side. And I can only do that when I like full screen, I guess. So I don't know. Still, don't get me started on the control panel. Holy shit. All right. Eamon, Merlin, it was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us. Fun time as always.
One more time, where can they find the show?
You can find us at A Gay and His MB on all of the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We do a lot of stuff on particularly Instagram and TikTok. I've been getting into memes. I've been trying it out. But on
Newfangled thing memes.
and then we're on all the podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Proud part of the Sorgatron Media Network. Go check us out and listen to us. We have new podcasts out every Friday. Sometimes we do 2 a week, and we do Friday, Saturday, but definitely every week we'll be out on Friday. So be sure to look out for that.
There you go. And of course, Katie, Kate Marie PGH on the Instagrams.
Yeah, check out hopefully some new photos. This will be
Hopefully,
exciting.
we'll see. I've done no reconnaissance I just started to look at where the venue is and everything right now. So
I think
like
I
yesterday.
sent you, it was like what to do in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and it was like That producer from SmackDown was like
What?
one of the most famous people from. Yeah, I think it was like somebody,
Who is
one of the
this?
producers from SmackDown was from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and that was like it.
Every
It's
time I
like,
look up stuff for Oshkosh, it's just like, here's some restaurants. Would you like some more restaurants? How about some more restaurants? I'm like, what? So, I don't know.
It's the Midwest. There's nothing to do but eat.
We're on a lake, but I don't think it's going to be nice enough to enjoy the lake. So, yay, water. I'm already wet. Chilla at Chilla on the Twitters and everywhere else.
And John's Chill on the Facebooks.
Yes, where you can ask him about his hammer.
We'll talk hammers. Or cats or retro gaming.
There you go. At Sorgatron on the Twitter for all my adventures as well. And actually all the social medias and Sorgatron at twit.social. And you can actually follow, because I never mentioned this in the beginning, AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.social on the Mastodon Fediverse. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast.